So how the fuck we do this shit again?
Countdown? I don't know. Countdown or something?
Fuck the countdown. Let's just start. Fuck it. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Smart Nerd Podcast. I almost said Husky by Boo because that's what I do, but this one is special because this is wrestling related. So it's independent from my normal shit, just to not alienate the people, the two of you that listen to my podcast. Because I realize that those are not wrestling fans, but this is for the diehards. This is for the marks, the smart marks, the IWC, everyone that identifies themselves as a wrestling fan. Because this week we are going to get jizzed all over our face, neck, and chest with wrestling because this is Wrestlemania week. So WWE holds the court this week. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with their booking decisions or not, this is what we got. You take it up the ass and like it, and you say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" That's what you do, because we have no choice. I mean, it's not like AEW is going to compete with them this week. Everybody is like pretty much letting them do their thing. And, well, let's just enjoy what we get in the process. Let's talk about the good first, because the good is that we're going to have a two-night event of an NXT Takeover. Now, takeovers, generally speaking, have always been above whatever WWE produces on their main stage. Would it be a pay-per-view or a SmackDown or a Raw? The NXT Takeovers always deliver. Like, I can't recall a takeover that did not deliver. Have you?
No, I actually haven't. They always over-deliver. They actually feel like they are the main roster every time there's a takeover.
Oh, by the way, this is Harold.
Long time no see, guys.
This is Harold.
Oh, no, here.
And this is Ariel. And also, just a little self-promoting here. I have a website now. The podcast has a website at the huskybyboopod.com. So we're legit now. We're actually real. We have electronic proof that we're legit now. So if you want to catch this podcast that you're listening to right now, or any other the ones that I do, all of that shit is there. The link will be in the description, or somehow you'll see it some way, somehow. But anyway, that's been the stupid introduction. Let's just go right into and dive in head first. Now, I don't know.
Stupid introduction.
Yeah, the stupid ass introduction. So who the fuck needs them? Anyway, we have an NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver pay-per-view, but instead of being your traditional one-night pay-per-view, they're gonna do it in two, and they're gonna split it. Correct me if I'm wrong, between the USA Network and the WWE Network, and the people who are condemned to live in the States, in the Peacock Network, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so I would imagine that the first takeover is going to be on the USA Network, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the Wednesday one on April 7th. And I guess since it's a special quasi pay-per-view, it's not a pay-per-view because it's going to be on a network television and cable network television. But still, it's being billed as a pay-per-view, right?
It is.
Okay, so be that as it may, let's just plow through the whole thing. Let's not go into any particular order. I'm going to read it just as I see it here. I don't think it's going to be exactly that way. I don't know why the site that I picked this up always puts the main event first. I don't know why it does that. But since I don't have time to correct this shit, I'm just going to read it as I see it. Okay, so I see NXT Women's Championship, Io Shirai, the champion, versus Raquel Gonzalez. Who is your pick?
My pick for this one is Raquel Gonzalez. Io Shirai has had an amazing time being the NXT Women's Champion. She has done a great job as champion, but Raquel Gonzalez is going up real fast. She's steaming hot right now on the women's division, and I do believe that she could actually be in place for a championship run now.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. I think it's Raquel's time. She's been booked like a monster. She took out Rhea Ripley. She's taking out anybody that's come across her path. So Io Shirai, it seems like slim pickings. Kudos on Shirai because she's been the champion since she beat Charlotte and Rhea in that triple threat a year ago, right?
Yes.
She's been the champion since then. So kudos for her for holding on to that belt that long. I don't recall a women's championship reign that long. I think they have been. I mean, Asuka, I think, had a longer run with the NXT championship than she did, I think. But be that as it may, she's had a very long run with the title. She's done good with it in a women's division that, to me, is better than the one in the main roster because the women in NXT are just fucking athletes and not just eye candy. So, and it's not to knock off the women on their main roster. There are very good wrestlers in the main roster. But, unfortunately, they stumble into that shit called booking by Vince McMahon. So, you got to do what you got to do there. But anyway, Raquel going over, that's my estimate as well. So, let's go to the next match that I see here, which is the NXT UK Championship. Machetazo City, a.k.a. Walter, the NXT UK Champion, versus Tommaso Ciampa. I think we all both know who's going to go over, but I'll let you talk.
This is a no-brainer, actually. I don't see Tommaso Ciampa winning this one, not in any actually way. And Walter is also becoming a monster in NXT, not only in the UK, because he was a monster in the UK already, but in the States, he is also being noticed as a monster of a talent and a great, just as you said, Machetazo City. So the guy has to stay. I mean, the guy has been champion for more than 600 days. Is he close to the 700 already?
I think so. He has over 2 years being champion that's legit. Over 2 years as champion.
So I don't see Tommaso Ciampa winning. He's gonna be a really, really hard hitting match, of course.
Yes.
This one is gonna kill everything, but Walter is gonna win.
Yeah, that's exactly my assessment. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano for me right now are filling in NXT that Randy Orton role, meaning that they're not necessarily the gatekeepers, but they're there to make people look good. They still win. They still get belts here and there. But basically, they're there to make people look good, to get people over. So, Tommaso right now, although he's a babyface right in this scenario, he's going to get his ass whooped. And he's going to get chopped liver on his fucking chest by Walter. And that's the name of the game. And Walter's going to go over because reasons. That's everything that we already explained, and why defy logic? And Vince McMahon is not booking this, so Walter goes over. So, and then I need say more. That's it. Walter goes over. So, we got the NXT Tag Team Championships that are vacant. So, we're going to have MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans versus El Legado del Fantasma. Who you got on this one?
I got the Grizzled Young Veterans in this one. MSK is too green to go for gold. As good as they are doing and good as they have been booked, I feel they're too young for this. They're being in this, for too short. Legado del Fantasma, I feel the same way comparing to the Grizzled Young Veterans. I do believe they are the ones the next in line to be tag team champions.
I really don't have a pick on this one because if I've said that I've watched a full episode of NXT in the recent 4 to 5 months, I'd be bullshitting you big time. Because guess what happens on Wednesday nights? AEW Dynamite. And guess who watches AEW Dynamite? This fat fuck. This fat fuck right here. This one watches AEW Dynamite. Once Dynamite's over, guess what this fat fuck does? He goes and watches NXT. Because it's still running. So I get to see the end. I don't give a fuck. No disrespect to NXT. It's a good show, and thank God that they found the reason They found logic and decided to move to Tuesdays. So now I can watch both shows and not miss a thing. So thank God that now the two best wrestling-based shows under God's green earth, NXT and AEW Dynamite, are now not going to be competing with each other, and I'll be able to watch both shows with no guilt. So
hallelujah.
Yes, the gods of wrestling have spoken, and they have heard our prayers and our clamor, and have decided to listen to us. And Vince McMahon decided to take that big L and that AEW boot mark up his ass and lick his wounds and seek money elsewhere. But let's just go grizzled young veterans just for shits and giggles. But I don't fucking know any of these motherfuckers. So, so good luck. Anyway, next for night one, we got the gauntlet match for the North American title shot for night two. The participants are Leon Ruff, former North American champion, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, and Dexter Lumis, and LA Knight. Who you got on that one?
Dexter Lumis.
Dexter?
Yes, I got Dexter on this one. Why? It is pretty simple. The guy has looked like an aggressive fuck since the last year or so. And at the end of the day, there are like 4 other of these competitors that are already on rivalries. Mm-hmm. And I do believe they're going to keep going with it after this event is on. And as funny over as Cameron Grimes is, I don't see him as winning this match and going for the championship with Johnny Gargano. Mm-hmm. That might be a surprise. It might happen, but I'm going with Dexter Lumis in this one.
Yeah. I mean, Lumis is a babyface right now, right? Or a tweener?
Basically a tweener.
Yeah, but tweener leaning towards babyface.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to go LA Knight, but LA Knight is too much of a fucking heel, and heel versus heel in this type of scenario doesn't work. So, I mean, LA Knight has all the checklists to make it. I just think that not his time yet. So I'm gonna pick Dexter Lumis as well, just because it's the pick that makes more sense. You know, is the one that makes more sense. It's more logical because Leon Ruff been there, done that. Isaiah Swerve Scott, don't know who the fuck he is. Bronson Reed, the big fat fuck who's been feuding with LA Knight. I guess they're gonna cost each other the title shot. That's my guess. Cameron Grimes. Good candidate, but not quite there yet. That gimmick, it still hasn't grown on to me. You know, that GameStop stock shit, whatever. But yeah, okay. That's the end of night one. Let's go to night two, which would be on the network, whatever, Peacock or WWE Network for us not living in the States. Again, the order, I apologize, but I'll read it as I see it. NXT Championship, Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross. I'm going to go first right away and just going to say one thing. Karrion Kross, you can do whatever you pick now.
To be honest, for me, this is not as easy as it is. This one is a bit hard. But I have to go with Karrion Kross as well. For maybe reasons, let's be honest, Karrion Kross actually had to leave the NXT Championship because of the curse that championship sometimes has.
No, that it had at the moment. They had it on the moment because everyone that touched that belt got injured.
Yes.
Everyone, including the current champion. Which did a freakish John Cena recovery that I have never met a man who broke his fucking jaw coming back and wrestle like months later, like a couple, not even a couple of months, like maybe a month and a half.
Yeah, this guy has to have some genetic anomalies or something like that.
He must be Wolverine.
Yes, Wolverine rules or something.
Yeah.
So I have to go with Karrion Kross in this one. I feel he had a really short time with the championship, and I do believe he's deserving of having a good run, and he will not disappoint.
Yeah. But again, Karrion Kross, it's the momentum is behind him. Finn Balor, been there, done that. That L will not hinder him at all. And he'll still be around. I don't know if he'll go back to Maine. I doubt it because they'll just send him to catering. And they wouldn't do nothing with him. And I guess they can just prolong this, having the feud with Karrion Kross until they find someone else for him to destroy. But I think it's Karrion Kross's time. They've been booking him like an animal. So it's the choice that makes the most sense. That's what we're heading. That's what we're doing, basically. The choice that makes more sense.
Yes.
Okay. Next match, it's an unsanctioned match. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. Who do you have?
I'm still laughing at this, at these terms WWE is coming with now. With they banning the DQ word from their dictionary and having no sanctioned match. This is a no DQ match. Come on. It's just a regular no DQ match, so I don't understand. Whatever, but let's go to the point in case. I'm gonna go with Kyle O'Reilly in this one, and it's just pretty much kind of the same case with Finn and Karrion. A loss to Adam Cole is not gonna kill him, and I do believe Kyle O'Reilly deserves a chance to rise up.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Kyle going over, but for some reason, I'm leaning toward Adam Cole because everything you said makes absolute 1,000% sense, makes 100% sense. But for some reason, there's something inside of me saying that Adam Cole's going to go over. I don't know what is. I think he has something up his sleeve. I don't know if they're just going to bring back this dude that they had. He had the feud with, what was his name? Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna play out in some way, or I don't know. Something's gonna happen that it's gonna make Adam Cole win in my book. It's not because I don't think Kyle O'Reilly goes up. In any other situation, if it wasn't the quote unquote unsanctioned, aka how it should really be called, the DQ match. It's not because of that. Kyle O'Reilly, I think, would beat him in any type of match, even including a DQ match. But I don't know. Something about this type of match and something about this, how the whole thing has been set up, seems dirty. Plus, in a way, it can prolong the story if Adam Cole wins. It can continue the story because Kyle needs to get his revenge on Cole. So even if, let's say he kills Adam Cole in the match, and something happens that which allows Adam Cole to retain or win, that means that the feud continues. So in that sense, that's what I'm saying. Adam Cole wins. In other words, he will win via shenanigans, some sort of shenanigans. That's what I'm saying.
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. Let's go with the NXT North American Championship, which would be, and since we basically picked Loomis as the winner in the battle and in the gauntlet match, right?
Yes.
So basically, since we picked Loomis, by the way, didn't they tease a ladder match between the NXT Cruiserweight Championship?
I don't recall that
because Shawn Michaels showed up with a ladder and showed it to former Fantasma and the other dude that had to vanquish the title, although he never lost it, and now we have the two title thingy going on. But I don't see any notes here on that end. That's why I'm asking, because it could have been a good addition to the pay-per-view.
It could actually, and I'm actually looking here while we speak on the website. This dailyddt.com, and that match appears listed.
Okay.
Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar. Ladder match for the Cruiserweight title.
Is it on night 1 or night 2?
Night 2.
Okay, so good thing I mentioned it because pretty much. Okay, so who do you think retains? Escobar or the other dude?
You just said who you don't think retains. Okay, fine.
Because both of them are champs. Technically, both of them are champs. So technically, whoever wins retains.
The undisputed cruiserweight champion.
Exactly.
Will the undisputed champion? Where have I heard of that before?
Who becomes undisputed cruiserweight champion?
I believe. I don't know if I'm going against the current here, but I'm going to with Jordan Devlin.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Santos Escobar had a really great run with the cruiserweight title, but I do believe it is time to have another champion, solo, of course, not sharing somebody else as they're doing right now, and that's pretty much why.
Mm-hmm.
I have not much to add on this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of going with the same pick. I'm kind of leaning towards Jordan Devlin as well. For the same reasons. That's it. Santos Escobar has been with that belt for a while now. And there hasn't been really real competition in that end. He's been basically just using that belt for ransom, basically. So, yeah, finally get someone else to be the actual champion on that end and have one championship. And please, if you're gonna unify belts, don't go the New Japan route and make the shoulder pads of the Green Ranger as a belt, please. Fuck.
The knockoff Divas title.
Yes, Jesus Christ. No, the love child between Cody's logo and the Divas title.
Yeah.
Fuck. Maldita faja más fea esa, Dios. Anyway, we were saying Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis for the championship. Do you see Dexter getting that championship for the North American Championship?
Oh yes, I do, sir. I do. Why? That's the perfect opportunity for Dexter Lumis to go over as a dominant superstar in the NXT men's division, and he can keep climbing up after that, and maybe they can put him in the future to contend for the NXT championship itself.
Yeah, I mean, we got to give the dude something to do. We got to give him something, and not just creepy guy, low facial expressions dude. You know? Give him something. He's over. He's a fucking over, and just by doing the bare minimum. You know, he's over by doing the bare minimum. And if you're going to use him, you're really going to use him. And like I said, the same comment that I made about Tommaso earlier, the same goes with Johnny. I already said it. Both of them are the Randy Orton role in NXT. They're there to, although they are good wrestlers and they look good and they have their moments, they're there to put other people over. So let this be the time where he has to put someone over. In this case, we're predicting that it's going to be Lumis. Let's go right away into Mania. A couple of matches that were announced that we're not going to go for the, surprisingly, are not going to be in the main card or not even in the pre-show, I think. For example...
No, they're going to be on SmackDown, actually.
Exactly. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, I did not know that they were still champions. That's how much...
Wait. They are?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay. Versus Street Profits, which I could have sworn they were the champions. But it is what it is. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is now moved to SmackDown as well, I guess. Since they've decided to venture all their creative juices to WrestleMania, they decided to fuck it. Let's make SmackDown the pre-show.
They also, actually, the reason why they're doing this is they don't want the shows to go over 3.5 hours.
Okay.
For reasons. And they also cutting off the pre-shows from 2 hours to 1 hour, too.
Okay. So they're just trying to get the more bang for the buck and not bore people to death with their shows, because Mania especially has the tendency of being a long ass fucking show.
Yeah,
And I thank the good Lord that they decided to do 2 nights. Unfortunately, I think this is the last time they're going to do 2 nights because, although they are going to have people in attendance, I don't think it's going to be full capacity though, right?
No, it's not going to be full capacity. They're going to have like around 22,000 fans or something like that.
Which is good. I mean, they haven't had fans in an arena for over a year now. It's going to be nice to watch something that hasn't had fucking screens in the back. So it's going to be nice to actually have actual audio of fans in the back. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be great. Yeah, good on WWE for that. And I think that they decided or making the decisions that probably by late July or August, they're thinking about going the road again, depending on how things are.
Going to the road on TV shows, right?
Yeah. I don't know about live shows, but at least to do the TV tapings.
Well, nothing has been mentioned about house shows yet after the last statement that house shows were done for.
Yeah.
And they didn't specify if they were coming back or not.
Yeah. Well, let's go into night one of the WrestleMania card for Saturday, April 10th. Again, these are not in the order as they're going to appear. I have them in this particular order. If you're pissed at me because I picked this order, it wasn't me. This is where the source of where I got it from. And let's just go with it. WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Who is your pick?
This is a sad one.
Yeah.
This is a really sad one, man. Because what I want and what is going to happen are really two different things. And I do believe that it's not only what I want, it's what the people really want. Because at the end of the day, Lashley has been champion for what, a month?
Barely.
Barely a month. And everything points to Drew McIntyre winning.
Yep.
Although it's not the most popular decision. But with everything they have done, including breaking up the Hurt Business, although I hate the name, the group was great, and everything they were doing, they were over. So that was one of the most stupid decisions they have made. Everything points to Drew winning, unfortunately.
Yep. Everything you said, I have to regurgitate because it's the truth. I was, before events that have transpired in the last 2 weeks, I was very big on Lashley retaining. Then you watch, well, I don't watch Raw, but I at least see the recaps on social media and whatnot. Then you see the recaps and you see the booking of Bobby Lashley. And now the disbandment of the Hurt Business. And this just spells trouble for Bobby Lashley in terms of booking because they booked him as a chicken shit heel. And the way he won the championship was not a chicken shit heel. Yes, he won it against a guy that is, the Miz. And not shitting on the Miz. But fuck, he won it fair and square. He won it clean. He won it clean as a whistle, and he won it fair, and he won it well, and everybody in their right mind was behind this. Everybody, whether you like or hate the Hurt Business, liked Bobby Lashley as the champion. And I understand why Vince feels that Drew has to go over. I understand why. I don't think it's a race issue. Just to be clear, no, I don't think it's that. It's just that he sees his guy as his number 2 because Roman is number 1. He sees Drew as his number 2. And he needs his number 2 to take the high spot on the number 2 program because unfortunately Raw is the number 2 program, whether Vince would like to admit it or not. But it just breaks my heart that Bobby Lashley, after all the years of trying to get that belt, finally gets it, and it's just going to have to give it back and being booked like a fucking piece of shit. And I don't like it. I don't like it. None of us do. There's rumors that Lashley and MVP went to Vince and asked them to not break the Hurt Business. And Vince was, fuck you, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want because my name is Vince McMahon and suck my dick. So it is what it is. That's what it is. Unfortunately, Drew McIntyre goes over. Nothing against Drew. He was a great champion, and he has been a great champion. He's a hell of a wrestler, and his comeback has been awesome since coming back to WWE. But unfortunately, we were kind of riding that Lashley wave, and it was just sucked out of us out of the blue. So here's hoping that they don't fuck up Lashley more in the future, that he does get another shot at it cleanly, and he does get to shine as a champion and not do the Sheamus route of becoming a champion. And what, Sheamus was a champion? You know, that kind of question. Like, oh, he was a champion? Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway, SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Who do you got?
I got Bianca on this one.
Same here.
I got Bianca because Bianca, since she arrived, she has showed that she has the capability of being a champion in the future, of course, when she started. And her ability, her in-ring ability is undeniable. She works really hard, and her performance at the Royal Rumble was exceptional. She deserves to be the SmackDown Women's Champion after the match is over at WrestleMania Night 1.
Mm-hmm. I don't have much to add. You already hit everything on the mark. Bianca Belair goes over. I'm not going to add any more to that. It's because it's just her time. We got now the celebrity match. Bad Bunny versus The Miz. Who do you got there?
The celebrity match that has pissed off so many people. And I'm just sitting here like, don't they remember that Mr. T, somebody who is not a wrestler, actually main evented WrestleMania the first time? Well, whatever. Bad Bunny is going over just because of the fact that Bad Bunny has been making mad money for the WWE as a merchandise seller.
Yep.
And the guy has also good praise from the wrestlers backstage. They have talked and they have said that Bad Bunny is a hardworking talent, and he got into the ring so humble and understanding everything they told him he did. And well, that's something really that says a lot from an artist of the caliber of Bad Bunny, because the guy has millions and millions of fans and millions of reproductions on Spotify and digital platforms. And he went so humble to the wrestling business, knowing that's not his business. He has to respect everyone there. So I don't know. Bad Bunny is winning this one.
Okay. I pick also Bad Bunny, but for two things that I'm going to mention. Damian Priest. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Everything you said and Damian Priest. Let's go the next match in the card. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
This is a hard one too. I believe Cesaro deserves to win. They have to do something with Cesaro before it's too late. But for some reason, something tells me he is not winning.
I think the contrary. I think he is going to win. And the reason why? Well, Kevin Owens won last year, and wow, that did wonders for his career, didn't it?
Hey, I mean, Kevin Owens had
look where he is now.
Look where he is now. But he had a heck of a run trying to get the Universal Championship. The matches he had.
Oh yes, I'm not shitting on those matches at all. I'm just saying is that for the backup that last year was a mixture, because last year fucked up a lot of things because if you recall, Mania was pretty much when the whole pandemic started.
Yes.
And a lot of shit went down. For example, the original plan was Roman versus Goldberg. Roman had to bow down, and then Braun was brought in to substitute Roman, and Braun got his championship there, and so on and so forth. So, and in the case of Kevin Owens, he won versus Seth, and maybe could have developed something different from there. But you know what happened? That KO decided to go back home because he was afraid of the whole COVID situation, and a lot of people did. A lot of wrestlers, including Roman, decided to go home and not participate and partake in WWE. And well, if you want to say that hurt his chances or not, that's debatable, and you can. And there's a good argument that you can say it did or it didn't. You don't know. We don't know. But in this particular case, I do think that Cesaro is the only one to benefit from a win here. Losing to Seth Rollins, although there's no disgrace on that, wouldn't do him any favors in terms of growing. He's the one right now that needs to grow. I understand that Seth, they're doing nothing with him right now. He's basically just an obnoxious heel. Like a very bad imitation of Chris Jericho, a heel back in WWE. But Cesaro's the one that only benefits out of this. Not Rollins losing or winning. It doesn't do dick to him, It doesn't mean dick to him because he beat Cesaro. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Wow, he beat Cesaro. But if Cesaro beats Seth Rollins, that's, hey, this guy got potential. And hopefully he will not get hurt and nothing will happen and he can continue to be used on TV and have his character grow. And finally have something of measure to give this man that well deserves it. It is way past due to earning a very decent spot in the card. So that's my pick. And that's what I think. Let's go with the Raw Tag Team Championship. The New Day versus AJ Styles and Amos or whatever the hell they call him because they keep changing his name every week. So I don't know how to call him. So if I'm saying it wrong, tell that to the announce team that says it wrong every fucking week. Hell, on the same broadcast they have it wrong.
Yeah.
Who do you pick?
I am going to be honest. You
don't give a fuck?
I just learned this match was taking place.
That's another version of saying you don't give a fuck, but okay, I'll take it.
No.
What?
The tag team division, the New Day should retain.
Okay.
For the good sake of whatever's left of it.
You mean they have a tag team division? You mean that those are not ornaments?
I didn't want to call them that, but hey.
I thought they were TikToks.
Well, I didn't want to go that far.
I thought they were chocolate pennies. I thought they were chocolate pennies wrapped around in red and blue belts.
Well, if you put that under consideration, then let AJ Styles and Almas win.
Look, at this point, the 24/7 title has more prestige than the tag titles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm fucking sorry, but that is the goddamn fucking truth. That is the fucking truth. The 24/7 title has more prestige than the fucking tag titles. Who gives a shit who wins them? A fucking 5-year-old kid won it with Braun Strowman a couple of years ago. Or what was he? 8, 9? Who gives a shit? A fucking kid won it. A fucking kid won it. A fucking kid. That's how fucking meaningful those fucking belts are. A fucking kid won it in a night. So who gives a shit who fucking wins? That's my prediction. Who gives a fuck who fucking wins? That is, if there was ever a bathroom break match, it's this. And I apologize to the participants because they're very worthy opponents. Almost, I don't know you, but AJ Styles, holy shit, His credentials are beyond mentioning. And New Day, best tag team in WWE history. Unfortunately, look at the fucking era that they had to do this fucking thing. So,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? Let's continue. That's the prediction. Who gives a shit? That's your bathroom break. That you can go to the bathroom, take a piss. You can take a shit. You can take a 15-minute shit. Okay? And you'll save some fucking time. And you will thank the Lord and you will thank me for listening to me in that moment. At that moment when that match starts, hit the fucking bathroom. That's your cue. Go to the fucking bathroom. Who gives a shit? Take a bath even. Fuck.
Yeah, indeed.
Take a fucking bath. Who gives a shit? Anyway. Here's a more important match, and I say this with all the fucking sarcasm in the universe. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage match.
No brainer. Braun is going over. Shane has become the new age Vince McMahon for when it goes to pretty much WrestleMania. Vince McMahon is what, 0-4 at Mania? Shane is pretty much taking the same route right now. He has had his victories, but he's pretty much losing every time.
Yeah. And this is more a give something to do to Braun because we have no opponents to him, so we gave him Shane.
Yeah, indeed. Word.
Okay, so that's pretty much night one. Let's go to night two. I'm actually surprised we're going through this as quickly as we are. Because this is a fucking long shit.
Yeah.
But hey, we still got night two. Universal Championship, again, the order, I am sorry. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Before we go to the actual prediction, I just want to say one thing. I don't agree that they adding Daniel Bryan into this because the more compelling story was Edge versus Roman. But booking wise, I understand why they added Daniel Bryan there is just to eat the L, so that if in the hypothetical case that Edge goes over, Daniel Bryan can eat the L, not Roman, and still have Roman look good. That's the hypothetical, and that's the hypothetical reason that I find why they added Daniel Bryan. But storyline wise, in terms of what has happened to Edge, because let's be honest and sincere about this, I don't think Edge has many mileage left in his body. He just he won the lottery this time in terms of coming back. So his body is not, although he is healed, he's damn near 50. So you're pushing the limits of what your body can take. So these are not the times to find out whether you can hang with everybody. So you have to pick your matches and be very smart about it in terms of who you're going to have a match with. I would have loved to say a solo match between him and Roman or a solo match between him and Daniel Bryan. But all three mixed together, it doesn't make that much sense to me, but it is what it is. I don't own WWE. Fuck my opinions. So, be that as it may, who do you got on this one?
I got Edge.
Okay.
I got Edge, and Daniel is going to eat the L.
For the reasons I just mentioned.
Exactly. And there is a lot of controversy with this one too. People believe Edge should not even be in this match because they believe he shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble. Fuck them. Edge,
fuck them hard. Fuck themselves hard.
Yeah, real hard. He came back after 9 years of forced retirement against his own will, and he has done a marvelous work. Considering somebody who came back from a career-threatening neck injury.
Yes.
Not only career-threatening, life-threatening.
Yes.
His life was at stake when he had to leave. They told him, if you keep doing this, you're gonna have to be in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Or even worse.
Or not have any movement whatsoever below the neck.
Correct. So he had to retire as World Heavyweight Champion. He had to relinquish the title to the most decorated superstar of all time, and who's vacant. And
yes,
He deserves to win the title, even if he drops it the next day. I don't care. He has to win.
Yes, because that
Even
was
if he
the
drops it
story.
to Daniel Bryan on SmackDown the next week.
Yes, because that was the fucking story. That was the fucking point of the story of him winning. That was the fucking point. It was him coming back from adversity. Don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled that the Rated R Superstar is back. I like that. I love that side of Edge. Don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit if he's a heel or babyface. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad that that side of Edge is back. Good, even better. That puts the stakes even better. It's just that I don't like the fact that they couldn't have Roman eat the fucking L. What's the big fucking deal with him eating the L? What is it?
I personally don't think that eating the L would affect Roman Reigns at this
Not
point in
in
his
the
career.
least. The dude is over as fuck. He's over as fuck. He's the most over. This is gonna be the only time in his fucking career he's gonna be cheered off the fucking building. The fucking roof is gonna blow. It doesn't have a roof. I don't give a shit. It's gonna blow anyway. It's gonna fucking blow. Because he's gonna be cheered like a motherfucker in this fucking match. Because this is the Roman we've been waiting for. This is the Roman we've been asking for years, and we finally have it. And they can't give us a fucking him eating an L because of reasons. Fuck, I suffered Mick Foley eating L's on the daily, on every fucking night, and did that diminish his career? Fucking no. He's Mick Foley. No. He's Mick fucking Foley. He's the dude that survived a fall from the fucking Hell in a Cell. He's over as fuck. He will always be over as fuck. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do to him to bury him. He will always be over. The same thing goes now with Roman. He is over as fuck. He can take the L. But no, let's have Daniel Bryan to eat the L. Fuck you. I don't get this fucking stupid baby shit booking ideas. But okay, yes, Edge goes over, but not the way we wanted him to go over. But it's going to happen anyway, so fuck. Raw's Women's Championship match. Now, this one, I do have some stakes interested in because this intrigued me. And I called it ever since I knew that Rhea Ripley was going to go to Raw. I called it in our group chat. I called it, and fuck it, here it is. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Who do you got?
I actually have some problems with this one because as of a couple of weeks ago and back, Asuka was just this goofy character.
Yeah.
That was just like doing nothing with the championship. But after she had the injury where she had a tooth knockoff.
Yeah.
After she returned as the NXT's Asuka. The one that actually delivered ass kickings of a lifetime.
The Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Exactly. The one that should have actually ruled with an iron fist in the women's division on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
On the other side, I, for some reason, see Asuka has been champion for long, too.
Yes. She's been champion.
She's been with the championship
since
for too long.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, since Money in the Bank. So, only on that note, I do believe the championship needs to change hands. We need to refresh it. And that's why I think Rhea Ripley is going over in this.
Yep, me too. I think Rhea is going over. And how better way to have a new star come in and grow into your program by having her beat the toughest bitch in the land. So Rhea Ripley, go her over. Lo que me da miedo, what terrifies me is that once Rhea Ripley becomes champion, enter Charlotte and have a burial match again. And let me clear that up because it sounds like, oh, here's another Charlotte hater. I don't fucking hate Charlotte. I think that everything that Charlotte has been given to her, she has earned it. Because let's be fucking real and let's be fucking sincere at this moment. Charlotte, to me, is pound for pound, the best female wrestler in WWE.
She is. She is the best talent the women's division has right now. And I would not only add Charlotte to that mix, there is another one that might actually return that people may not actually think about, and that is the man, Becky Lynch.
Hmm.
She might have returned for WrestleMania, but that will be actually in a too short period, and they
Yeah.
will not give her time for a build-up.
No, no, no. I save
So
that for SummerSlam. Save that for SummerSlam.
exactly. So that actually only makes sense. So it makes sense that she will return after Mania
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, she wouldn't return in time for a WrestleMania build-up.
Nah, nah, nah. Not at this point. We less than a week in. There's less than a week. Yeah, Rhea Ripley over. We pretty much are in agreement with almost all of these. I think the only one we disagree was with the Cesaro and Seth Rollins thing.
Yes. Yes.
That's the only disagreement. But we've pretty much been agreeing everything. Okay. Let's go with this one. This one is bittersweet to me, because let's just say the Fiend versus Randy Orton.
Uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
it is an uncomfortable moment
Yeah.
right now. Talking about this match,
Yeah.
and it is not because of any of the parts involved.
Yeah.
We have seen this too many times already.
Yeah.
We have seen this too many times already. But for some reason, I believe Randy Orton is really high on the Fiend because
Yes.
at the end of the day, Randy Orton has creative control of whatever story he is in.
Look, Randy, as I said before, and the Kiss of Tommaso and Johnny Gargano, they're putting the Randy Orton role on NXT. Randy Orton, I won't call him the gatekeeper because the gatekeeper is like the term that you use for people that takes L's on the regular.
Oh, no, not at all.
And Randy is not taking L's on the regular. It's just that he's there to be an important guy, but to elevate people.
Yeah, making you look like $1,000,000.
Exactly. So Randy, if you saw the interview, the Broken Skull sessions with Stone Cold, which is long as fuck, by the way, you would see that he is indeed a changed man. He has changed a lot. I mean, fuck, you're 41 years old. You go through life. You live through life, and you have kids. You get married. You start to wise up a little bit, You start to, this thing called, wising up, getting older, getting wiser. And he's finally fucking, in a very good place in his life. He's married with a good woman, and he has a bunch of kids now. Una bendita tribu en su casa. He sees now that everything that, for example, I don't know if you saw the Broken Skull sessions. He had a story. You remember that feud he had with The Undertaker in WrestleMania?
Yes, I remember that feud.
He said that, the night before he had to induct his father into the Hall of Fame. His father and his grandfather, I think.
Yes.
And he did. And he said that night he went to, after he did the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, he went to an all-nighter, binge, go crazy. He was a young kid. He was like, what, in his 20s? Mid-20s, late 20s?
So late 20s.
Yeah, so he did an all-nighter. Got drunk like a motherfucker. Next day he wakes up. He misses the rehearsal with The Undertaker.
Oh, shit.
And he says that when he gets to when he got to the building, he said that The Undertaker was just about to leave. And The Undertaker just gave him this look. And he says, I will never forget that look for the rest of my life. Like a look of shame. And he said The Undertaker didn't say a word. He did not say a word. He just gave him this look, like a look of shame. And he says that is something that has haunted him for the rest of his life. That he said that he has never forgiven himself for that sign of disrespect that he showed The Undertaker.
And you gotta take under consideration something. Undertaker's authority in the locker room, because when somebody like Shawn Michaels, after the Montreal Screwjob happened, the only thing he was worried about, the only thing he was thinking about was What is Taker's opinion on this? What is his position on this? When somebody like Shawn Michaels, somebody that had absolute power in the locker room back then, was thinking, oh my God, Taker is going to kill me.
Yeah.
You got to know the amount of authority The Undertaker has had for the best of the time of his career. And for somebody like Randy Orton to feel like that, also after, The Undertaker gave him that look, which is actually something that I will actually feel worse.
Yes, he said that was worse than him taking a verbal lashing from the Taker. He said
Yes,
that was worse.
I would have preferred him say something. I don't know, kick my ass.
Yeah, that's exactly what he says. I'd rather him kick my ass than giving me that look.
It is hard. And Randy Orton is a guy that has gone through a lot of stages in his career since he started. Because when he started, everybody was talking about the potential this kid had.
Yes.
The potential he had, and that got over him. He was really over his head, and he was just like, I don't give a shit about anything. I have the potential I need. Until Evolution came in, he started to change things a bit.
Yeah.
Not completely, a bit. Because when Triple H told him, hey, you either take this shit seriously or I'm done.
No,
and
I mean, I know we're going a little bit off track because we're trying to do a prediction here, but still, it's a testament to the change that Randy has had over the years. And I mean, of course you have to. I would be very ashamed to a human being that does not change in 10 years. I'd be very ashamed of that person because it would like, you're gonna be the same idiot motherfucker that you were 10 years ago? Like, fucking change, motherfucker. Grow up. And he has. And he has.
Changes are the only consistent thing in life.
Yes.
Besides death.
Yes. So, long story short, Fiend goes over.
Yeah, Fiend goes over.
Fiend goes over. It's just the thing that got us, I would imagine that this is your opinion on the matter as well, is just the thing that has us like, is the booking of it so far. One, we've seen this before a bunch of times. Second of all, I mean, this has been, like, you criticize WWE for not having too much long-term booking. This goddamn feud, it is fucking long. Long.
It seems WWE can do things midterm. They just either go too short or too long.
Yes, and this one, they beat this dead horse. I mean, they've been beating this dead horse until the fucking bones. So there's no flesh anymore left in this goddamn horse. It's in the bones right now. Like, put it to bed and move on. The Fiend needs this way more than Randy does. So, yeah, give it to the Fiend. I just hope it's a cinematic match to counter the one that they did last year with Cena. Because that was fucking gold. The last one last year with Cena, that was fucking gold. And I need something like that for this one in order to have, like, for example, and I think we've said this before. If John Cena never returns to the ring again, it's okay by me because that was the perfect ending. The perfect ending. That was the perfect bookend to his career. That is the perfect match to leave. Because that's it. You can't do better than that.
No, definitely you can't.
You can't do better than that. That's the perfect ending to end a career. Like putting someone over and putting them over in the most ridiculous, over-the-top manner known to man. So I want something similar, not the exact, don't give me like a copy-paste version of that match. Just give me something similar, you know?
I don't think that actually is going to happen either because, John Cena's match at WrestleMania last year had to be like that because they couldn't have him get very physical.
Yeah.
Because the guys just kick off his acting career on a high note because he was acting before, but not as
now he's mega,
not at the level he is right now.
Now he's Juan Dinner, international movie star.
Correcto.
Yeah,
We
and
got
I
points.
hope somebody in the future will get that reference. Hopefully,
So,
someone in the future will get that reference. Wink, wink.
so in this case, Randy and the Fiend, they can get physical as fuck. So the things actually can be way different than the last cinematic match the Fiend had at Mania.
Yeah.
Well, Bray won it because it was Bray actually
Uh huh.
versus Cena. It was not the Fiend. Uh,
Although
but yeah,
the Fiend did show up here and there.
yeah, here and there. But the match quote was Bray versus Cena. Last year actually had two real good damn closings. Well, one was that, and the other was for the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I do not see a better closure for for Taker
Yeah.
than match he
And
had at WrestleMania last year.
and I agreed 100% that he had to win the match because he already lost the streak, and the streak was the biggest thing that he had in his career. So he already
Yeah,
gave that back. So it was only fair for him to leave winning.
and the loss actually didn't do shit to AJ.
Exactly. No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, after that, he's been what? He hasn't won a title since, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Intercontinental
at the
title.
end of the
Yes,
day,
he's won the Intercontinental title.
oh yes.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, having a match with Undertaker at WrestleMania was a really catapult match. You didn't have to win it, no matter
No,
if you were just going over or
you
not.
just get the rub.
Just go to the match, and you will already be praised as fuck.
Yes. Well,
Moving on.
yeah. Moving on from very high praise matches to what in the fuck is this?
Yeah.
The Intercontinental Championship match: Big E versus Apollo Crews in a what the fuck? What is the stipulation in this fucking match?
What? Wait, there's a stipulation for
Yes,
this
they
match?
added a fucking stipulation like the like a drum like a Kenyan drum beat match. I don't know what the fuck.
But I don't see that anywhere.
Yes, they added that stipulation on Friday.
Shit.
When I
Like,
heard that, I was like, "Who in the fuck has been passing that Matt Riddle a bong in the fucking writers' room?"
man, you have to hide your weed, bro.
Damn,
They're taking it away.
They've been hitting that bong hard in that writing room.
Um,
He's like, "Bro, where's my fucking bong?"
I mean, I wish I could say who fucking cares, but there's something I got to say. Although I don't know who is gonna win this match, I do care for the following reason. These two are two rising stars at the moment. Apollo Crews
yes.
was doing nothing. Biggie started as a singles competitor. He didn't do much at the beginning, but then after a brief talk with
Heyman.
Paul Heyman at Talking Smack, just like Apollo too, at the same time. You can thank Paul Heyman for these two's push. Things have changed a lot, and I don't have a winner on this one, to be honest. I do expect a great match. That's all I can say.
For the sake of whatever the fuck, I'm gonna go Big E, but I'm not either here or there on either side because this match suffers from what how do I say this? Shit ass fucking booking. This is the fucking disease that's ruining main roster WWE. They give these guys, who by the way, some of the best wrestlers on the goddamn fucking planet, bar none, within any company. You take them anywhere and they will be monsters any other company where they're at. They'd be anywhere. Any of these guys. So this is not a knockoff on any of them whatsoever. It's the fucking booking. What in the fuck is going on with this shitty ass booking. I mean, this has been a disease for years. This is not something recent. This is not something that is new. This is something that has been going on for like, what, 15, 18 years now? I mean, this is the shit that CM Punk sit down on the fucking and did his pipe bomb promo. And that's been 10 years ago. And shit has not changed a bit. A bit.
No, it hasn't. Now, I am actually at the official website for Wrestlemania and WWE. Nothing about a stipulation is being mentioned here.
So I made
maybe they had cold feet with it.
So maybe they decided, this is a shitty idea. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
So if that's the case, then good.
Anyway, I stick with my decision. Biggie going over. We have your U.S. title match. Sheamus versus Riddle, the champ. I'm going to go first on this one. And I don't know if you heard about the situation that happened on Monday. You know that Riddle walked off in the middle of a promo. You heard that?
I heard that, and I also heard that. Well, I saw WWE making fun of it.
With Sheamus doing the same thing.
When Sheamus appeared and he, quote, forgot his line.
Yeah, Sheamus did the exact same thing, but it was more like ha ha ha, was making fun of this. You know that some dirt sheets are reporting that Vince did that on purpose to Riddle. On purpose. He told Riddle that, no, we're taping this. This is not going to go live. This is taping. This is taped. And Riddle did his fuck up. He did his botch. And they just told him, and he was like, okay, so we're going to do it again. And I know that's what went to the show. So they purposely fucked him up.
Oh, shit. So Sheamus is winning this one?
Exactly. That's why I mentioned it.
Sheamus is going over.
We are in the same wavelength. We are in the same wavelength. Exactly. So basically, Riddle is there to he is the white R-Truth now. He is white. He is white R-Truth. He is there to amuse Vince. So Vince gave him that belt. Was like, oh no, he's funny. He's a funny guy.
Have fun.
Hey, he's a funny guy. Have fun there. Okay, so have fun. And Sheamus, you're gonna get the U.S. title. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the last match that we have here, not necessarily the last match of the night, but I would think that this would be the one that starts night 2. A very original match. A match that you have never seen before. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Who's seen this match? This is fucking original.
Never in my life.
Never in my life have I seen these guys fight 18,000 times in the Indies and like 1,000 times in WWE. I haven't seen it. Have you? No. Wow, what an original concept.
Now, joking aside, this is a match that you could see a million times and still not get sufficiently bored of it. Having two competitors of the caliber of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that have so good chemistry together having a match, I don't see this as a bad decision. I see this as a great WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I mean,
actually something that that needed to happen way before WrestleMania and didn't happen.
Look, jokes aside, these two are magic together. Jokes aside, they're magic together. They're good together. They do good wrestling together. I really enjoy it. The unfortunate thing is that you've seen this shit 1,000 times. So that's the problem. I'm sorry. And in case of who goes over, hell, let me be anticlimactic. Sammy goes over.
I actually was thinking the exact same thing.
Holy fuck!
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, nah. Sammy might win this one.
Yeah, because he got Logan Paul there. Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is. It is Logan Paul?
It is Logan Paul.
Oh, okay. It's a shame that I know this fucker's name. It's a fucking shame.
Ah,
This is a detriment to my mental health that I know this fucker's name. No offense, dude. I mean, you do you. You're doing your money. You got more money than all of us to combine. No hating on that department. You went and did your shit and you got it. Good on you. Good on you for getting your money. It's just that that way, making YouTube videos. Although he can kick the shit out of anybody, for realsies.
yes,
He can beat
he is a boxer
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah, he can really, for legitimately beat the shit out of people. Legitimately.
And besides, WrestleMania actually does this every time. We get a lot of celebrity stuff, and there's nothing new. It has been done from the very first WrestleMania to the last one, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. So, I'm saying Sammy goes over. So, I think we're done in terms of predictions. Before I go, I do want to say one thing and talk about one little thing. The surprise that still is blowing Mark's brains all over the world. How the fuck is Chris Jericho going to the Broken Skull sessions after Mania? How the fuck did that happen?
This is something that actually absolutely none of us was expecting. Because Vince is so hermetic with his product and sharing with other promotions. This is really weird. Is Vince okay?
Yeah, it must be going senile.
Because I don't know, man. He has to go to the doctor. I don't think he's doing good.
Although,
But
you heard what Triple H said about the matter?
no, I didn't. I did see the highlights where he basically said we're open for business.
No. He basically said I don't know what's so surprising to people. I mean, we've been saying this for a while that we're open for business, and this is a sign that we are open for business. We don't have any restrictions whatsoever. We will work with anybody. So I don't know why people put this imaginary stuff in their heads, because it's all fabrications in their mind that we have a problem with working with people. We don't. We are open to work with anybody and anybody. If you say you want to work with us, we are open the door and there's no problem. That's what Triple H said.
Sorry, Trips. I'm going to disagree on that one.
Wait.
Have no problem with working with.
Wait a minute. I'm catching a cold right now. Bullshit! Sorry. Here it comes again. Bullshit! Bullshit! Anyway.
Sorry, Trips. I have to disagree with you.
Yeah.
Man, you are open to work with other talent from other promotions, but you're not Vince.
Yeah.
That's you, and that might be Steph too. I don't think Steph have a problem with that either, but you both are not Vince.
No.
Although this actually is softening things a bit.
Yeah.
Vince seems to be making some changes on his point of view, of his standpoint regarding working with other talents from other promotions. At the end of the day, being from another promotion or not, Chris Jericho is a WWE legend.
Yes.
That's
where he made his bones.
Exactly. He was fully developed at WWE because WCW basically did shit for him.
No, they treated him like a cruiserweight, basically.
Exactly. So that actually makes a bit of sense, but I was just as surprised as Stone Cold Steve Austin was, because it was his pitch. He pitched it to Vince. He said, "Look, it would be a great idea to have Chris Jericho on the program, on the show." And Vince said, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea." And Austin was like, "So, are you good with this?" I'm like, yeah, bring him in.
No, look, and this is weird because we are the ones that shit on Vince on the regular, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here and going to defend Vince a little bit. Where certain people, yes, he has an issue, but Jericho, I think he's always had a good relationship with Jericho, regardless of where Jericho's in. He independent because I think that in his mind, and I'm trying here to analyze Vince. In Vince's mind, Jericho is not just a wrestler for him. He's a friend. He's somebody that he talks to on the regular. He texts with him on the regular, as said by Jericho himself. He does talk with Vince on the regular. So they do have a relationship and they're friends. So I see that Vince is like, he can take the businessman side sometimes away from the issue and go on to the friendship side. Plus, how the hell does not benefit WWE? They look like $1 million asking this guy to come back and do a long ass interview session with Stone Cold, and you can bet your ass they're going to be mentioning AEW.
Of course, and this is also going to catapult AEW as well.
This is a win-win for everybody. And you know who wins the most out of this? Us, the wrestling fans. So, for once, I would like to thank you, Vince McMahon, for doing what really is best for business and putting us, the fans, in first place in this specific occasion.
I mean, we do not shit on Vince because we think it's funny or anything, or because we hate him. We don't.
No.
We have to thank the motherfucker for everything he has done for the business in the last, 40 years?
Yes, wrestling would not be what it is now without him.
And we just shit on every egg he lays.
Yes, we call bullshit where it needs to be called. If you see bullshit, if it looks like bullshit, smells like bullshit, it's bullshit. So what do you do when you see bullshit? You call it out. ¿Por qué? Tú no quieres que otro pise mierda.
Of course. So, yes, this is a very different side of Vince and a good one.
Yes.
And we wrestling fans in general, we do hope this keeps going and growing.
Yes, please. Pretty please, with sugar on top. I would dare say that the only possibility I see some sort of working relationship with WWE would be on the NXT's areas, and not necessarily even on the US NXT. I would be like more like in UK or India. Because it's just like, oh yeah, we'll work with you, but just not here. You can go to fucking India, or you can go fucking UK and work with those son of a bitches. I don't know none of them motherfuckers. You can go work with them. But here, you ain't working with our motherfuckers. Hell the fuck no.
Although that actually would be sort of stupid. But I don't see I don't see why things cannot work between NXT USA and AEW. At the end of the day, they're going in different nights anyway. So
no, I mean right now, in the middle of this pandemic, where every business is hurting in one way or another, except WWE because they made all the fucking money in the world last year, according to their reports, their quarterly reports, they made all the fucking money in the world. But most businesses were hurt. I mean, NWA just came back for after almost a year out of the air. Don't tell me that didn't hurt their business. Don't fucking tell me. I mean, most of the wrestlers had to wrestle elsewhere. I mean, Thunder Rosa basically had the match of her career in AEW. And she's an NWA woman. And she's an NWA wrestler. So, this has affected everybody's bottom line. So, right now, the wrestling business, the smartest decision that wrestling business in general has to do is unite in order to keep the product going forward. Thank God AEW has their spot in TNT, which was not easy to get because, that little bad taste in their mouth from 20 plus years ago called WCW didn't exactly did them favors, So the fact that they're doing good numbers, I mean, yeah, they're not doing like what they did back 20 years ago, like over 1 million viewers. But who's the fuck expecting that shit now? I mean, WWE doesn't pull they barely pull 1 million. Barely. Barely.
On NXT they don't, but well, Raw pulls up like what 1.5 to 1.8,
Yes.
and SmackDown goes normally with 2.1, 2.2, something like that.
Yeah.
Because of course SmackDown is of the two the show that actually makes the more sense.
It's better booked. It's better booked.
Exactly, and Vince actually knows it because Vince focuses more on SmackDown. Now, I do believe he has to put his sights on USA too, because rumor has it that also USA is trying to push because they're not happy with the ratings of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. And why would they?
Of course, why would they? That shit.
They're
Compared to what they had
shit.
before. They had what, 4 million,
Dude,
3.6.
In the late 90s, they were monsters. Monsters.
On the late 90s, they will get even to 8 million.
Yes. And that's what they want. But unfortunately, with the woke movement and everything, I don't think WWE can afford going back to that.
This is going as far as actually having the wrestling fans division divided just as LGBT. The wrestling fans are a modern LGBT. Some actually look like this, some actually like that, some actually not like nothing was going on right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, no, you can't go into a wrestling opinion based and have two guys agree on something, because you got the younger marks that believe things should be a certain way, and then you got us old fucks that have seen it all, heard it all, been it all. Fuck, se me cae la cédula ahora mismo. I was in a Jack Veneno live show when I was a fucking kid, so ahí se me cayó la cédula. Yes, I am over 40. You know how fucking old you have to be in a live show that Jack Veneno wrestled? That is old as fuck.
Yeah, because that was before Pedro A. Rivera died, and he died long ago.
Yes, that was Pedro A. Rivera died in 93 or 94, right?
Yes.
I'm talking about going live events in 86, 87, 88, 89.
And, going on a note, talking about Jack Veneno, he's back home.
They send him home.
He requested it, reportedly by his son. He requested to go back home.
He just wants to end his days home.
Yes, yeah. Actually, he said it last year. He said that COVID was going to take over a lot of stuff, and he's going to be going out with it. Of course, he's not going to die of COVID. That's not the problem he's going through right now. He's going through a lot worse. He's going to a cancer.
Yeah. You know that Hugo Savinovich talked about him this week in his show, and he was very bummed out when he found out about Jack Veneno. That really bummed him out.
He did, because they're really good friends.
Yeah.
Hugo Savinovich actually came here and he wrestled for a long time.
Yeah. He wrestled back in the mid or early 80s, mid 80s.
Yes.
Before he got big, and because he did get to wrestle in WWE because Wendy Richter was his wife.
Yeah, and not only that, he was one of the, or maybe the independent booker that had the privilege of having WWE superstars to use on independent bookings, independent shows. He took figures like Kane to shows to fight alongside as a tag team. Yeah.
And so, that bummed him out. He said that really hurt him. He said that he knows that, because you know that Hugo is a believer. He believes in God and all that, but he knows that Jack Veneno's time is up. He was like, look, I could pray and maybe God will do something, but I know that this is pretty much the end.
Yeah, so unfortunately, there's nothing to do about it, and this is a really sad moment
for us Dominican marks,
for all us Dominican old school wrestling fans. Because to be honest, I wasn't there, but I have watched a couple of his matches.
Oh, I lived
it. I know.
I lived it. I'm old as fuck.
But nonetheless, the biggest wrestling figure the Dominican Republic
Yeah,
had to offer.
like he's the Dominican Santo, basically. That's
Ex-
it.
exactly. There were just for what I understand, there were just three uh, wrestlers here that actually were that over. It was Jack Veneno, Relampago Hernandez as a heel,
Yes, the greatest heel of all time in here.
and Bronco Uno, who actually got to wrestle outside of the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that was the problem with Jack Veneno. I don't mean to shit on him because he's on his last days, but that's one thing I will criticize about his booking, that he only put himself over. He did not prioritize other guys. He didn't think about the future of the business. That one day he might not be there, and that's why there is no wrestling in DR anymore because of that reason. Because if he would have been progressive and started thinking about the future, he would have put the strap or put the push on the rocket strap, the proverbial rocket strap, on someone else. For example, Bronco number one, he became the biggest monster heel in Puerto Rico. He became the biggest heel in the history of Puerto Rico. Like
to the point that fans were trying to jump over him.
Yes. And he lost his mask because he used to be Los Hermanos Bronco. There were three of them here. I remember because I lived through it. As I said, fucking old. And when I saw the motherfucker without a mask, I was like, please, you should have stayed with the mask on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but motherfucker, you should have stayed with the mask on.
You look terrible.
The mask was not a gimmick. It was a godsend. It was a godsend. It was mercy from God for our eyes. But hey, it is what it is. He unmasked himself and whatnot and became a big fucking heel. I would say the other guy that got over and he squashed it really quick was a guy called El Rockero Johnny Gomez. The guy, like, I know the name sounds ridiculous as shit, but it was the 80s. So, give it a pass.
Yeah, the 80s, not a lot of things actually made sense regarding names, like a couple of gimmicks.
Think about that name in Dominican Republic mid-80s. El Rockero Johnny Gomez.
And rock was not even a thing here.
Dude, and his entrance music was techno.
What?
His entrance music was techno. I was like, who in the fuck thought that techno music and rock music was the same as shit? And by the way, he dressed exactly like Orange Cassidy.
Well, as you were describing things, I was actually picturing him dressed as Marty Jannetty. But okay,
he dressed exactly like jean jackets, ripped jeans. Then he did get like kind of a Ricky Morton style, the Rock and Roll Express style, tights, but with ripped bandanas all over the place. Then he wrestled, but he did first started wrestling with jeans, like with ripped jeans and shit. He kind of looked like a beta version of Orange Cassidy.
God damn it!
And with the most Dominican 80s mustache.
So he went down looking like Josie Esteban.
You maldito Kelly. God, I wish there was a picture of him I can see right now. I'm going off memory.
Okay.
I'm going off memory here. Oh, God. Again, old as fuck. I'm sorry. So, yeah, let's end it there. I mean, it's better to leave it off with because we were shitting on over with a sad ending talking about Jack Veneno, but let's end it with the Dominican version of Orange Cassidy. Let's end it there with the the Dominican, the bootleg Dominican 80s version of Orange Cassidy.
Oh my goodness!
Straight out of your bodega.
Forte y malo, un brazo de poder en cada cucharada.
do look like a straight up Tecat.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now, and he looks like, this guy. I don't remember his name. George from the Jungle.
Uh-huh.
Something like that, but if he would wrestle. If George of the Jungle was a wrestler, he would look like this guy.
Okay, you looking at videos or are you looking at?
I'm looking at videos, but here actually he shaved his stash.
Yeah. No, because he's a young. I'm seeing a photo of him like what he looks now. He shaved his face, his hair, and everything, so it doesn't look like that anymore. I'm trying to look like old school shit from him, because he was like your token Dominican from the 80s, like con Kelly, cosa. But damn it, I don't see any pictures of him.
I'm looking at a video of 1994.
I see one now. He got the Ricky Morton gimmick on him. He got the Ricky Morton gimmick on him. He got the Kelly flowing.
Can you send that to me?
I'll send it to the group later. The Kelly, by the way, it's a Dominican term. If you remember the original Coming to America, the first one, you remember Eric LaSalle's character, Soul Glow. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. The Soul Glow, that will be the reference for you gringos out there listening. If you're Dominican, then okay, you already got the reference with the Kelly. So anyway, this has been the Smart Nerd Podcast. I hope we didn't bore you to death, or at least you laughed with us somewhat. We try to be as sarcastic and evil as fuck as possible for your devilish pleasure.
All for your entertainment.
Yes, because why do things PC when you can go evil as fuck? Okay.
Yeah, indeed. And before we go,
yeah,
this is something that has nothing to do with wrestling. But this is something I actually want to say anyway. Fuck cancel culture.
Oh, no, they can go fuck them. I think they're going to fuck themselves eventually. Okay, I sent the image to the group. Johnny Gomez versus Richard Murdoch, it says here. And that's him in his wrestling gear. It's not the Orange Cassidy gear that he used before. I think this is after the Orange Cassidy days. So he's like going on through his Ricky Morton phase in that one.
This was in 1994.
Okay.
In IWA Japan.
So yeah, you can tell that mileage has already been on him because you can see he has a little bit of a gut.
Yeah.
Little bit of a gut. And I want to talk. I'm over 300 pounds. Anyway. I want to talk. Anyway, this has been the Smart Nerd Podcast, and this has been the longest finale ever. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe on the channel, Husky Bible Podcast channel on YouTube. Subscribe there. Every time we'll get one of these, I don't know how many of these we'll be doing. I guess once a month, maybe, because we all work, have lives and shit.
Yeah, we're slaves.
Yeah, we're slaves to the system. The system has us enslaved. So wherever you can get the chance, you can listen to us and watch the videos there. Although this is not an actual video recording, you'll get the audio, but you know the rest. You know the deal. So once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the likes, and all that other jazz. Harold, you want to say something to the people before we go?
Well, it's been too long since the last time we've been here, and as always, it's for me really, really good. I'm having a really good time. Thank you guys to those who listen to us on whatever time you have. Have a great one.
Take care, peoples. Bye.